right, we live.
All right, Shalom, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, first off, we want to turn to the east and give all honor, glory, and infinite worship to
Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Rechach
double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach on these last days and who are the true leaders of Israel, whether they receive it or not, who told us it's 100% truth. We want to give a strong Shalom to the occupant of the four corners of the earth, question, truth, and sincerity, making the call and election sure. I want to give a humble salutation to the elect of the nation of Israel, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, no matter what your outside appearance may be. All right, we coming back to the spirit, prophesying the downfall of this kingdom. Once again, we almost out of here, you know, and we continue to push that vibration. They can the brother get you got an article? You got it.
All right, this is an article from leaders.com, right? It says cash is no longer king. It says the number of automated teller machines across the U.S. is declining as many people rely on digital payments rather than cash. It says it went down from a peak of 470,000 in 2019, and then it dropped to 451, and it's showing you the times that we in, man. All right, everything is going digital, man. It's obvious, man. It's obvious everything is going digital because this is all a part of the Heavenly Father's play, man. All right, John the Revelator, he on the island of Patmos in 90 AD, he seen everybody getting a piece of subdermal device in their hand or in their forehead in order to make purchases, man. And this thing is about to play out because don't forget in June, what is it, the debt ceiling is supposed to crash or some sort of lines like that. And what is that? 3 months away, man. And we know they like to get a head start in May. They have something called Mayday, where the secret elites, you know, they plan these they plan all their devices at the the Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, they out there in Switzerland right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all these is just can you get Psalm 64 and 4? You got it.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
All right, and that's part of one of Esau's devices is turning everything digital, man. Okay, because when things are digitized and they're able to control everything behind the computer screen, you know, it's a lot easier to control the masses. Right. See, right now people have free will to go, spend $20 here at the pizza house. Esau don't know, you know, but digitized money, all that's going to be recorded, man. All that's going to be put down and marked as an algorithm in this artificial industrial revolution, man.
Because it's called the Internet of All Things.
Right, yeah.
It's going to be hooked up to a blockchain. You know, Esau, what's the movie? I think it's Ready Player One. You ever seen that? You know, that's how exactly Esau wants society to be, man. Meanwhile, he gonna have you up in a fucking video game with your conscience locked in, like on the Black Mirror episode. The man was taking people's DNA and he ended up bringing them into a video game forever. That's how Esau wants to do you. Meanwhile, he enjoys the plushest land, and you in a fucking video game, man. You know?
Yeah.
You want me to get Psalm 64 and 6?
Yeah, kind of.
It says Psalm 64 and 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish.
Verse 4.
All right, okay, kind of. Psalm 62. I'm gonna start. 64 and 1. Hear my voice, O power. In my prayer, preserve my life from fear of the enemy.
All right, and that's what we're doing, man. We're praying, man. That's the only way we're gonna be able to escape all these calamities and pestilences and things like that is through prayer. All right, now I had watched a lesson, and one of the brothers was going into how they take certain scriptures out of the Bible, right? Can you get what's that? Matthew. What's that? You got it. I'm on my mind.
Psalm 64 and 2. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
And these secret counsels are the things that's going on behind the scenes, right? That they're manipulating everything to push going towards digital currency. You got it, Doc.
Yeah, because I seen something this week about the war in Ukraine. A lot of most of the pharmaceutical companies, like, you know, all of the ones that came up with the V, they all headquarters is in Kyiv. So it's just a big money laundering machine. You know what I'm saying? That's what this war is. That's why you got hundreds of billions of dollars being pushed into Ukraine. Where that shit going to? You know what I'm saying? Where is it? What Russian cities is blowing up as a result of the weapons that's being, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is just a money laundering machine. Like I said, there's a book called War is a Racket by General Smedley Butler. You know, war is a racket, meaning a racket is something that is disguised as something else. You know, and that's what war is. It's disguised as a fight for patriotism or freedom or democracy or whatever, but really it's just a way to push money into certain Amalekite companies.
Right. Also for the bankers to get more control of the whole world.
Right, more money. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Oh, it's crazy. It's like, you have mentioned Ukraine. Well, this is like a year or two ago. This is a year ago when Russia first invaded Ukraine. They was bringing up the DIA. Now it's something. DIA is talking. It deals with digital. Everything's digital, man. And Ukraine is the foreground for them to implement that system. Man.
Right. And they use war to accelerate their plan. Right. You know. You got something.
That's part of that fear. So, you know, because people are afraid in war. You know what I'm saying? You got it outside.
That's still in that Psalm 64.
Yeah, kind of. You got it.
I mean, I can you know.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1, and it reads, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because because it is in the power of their hand." So, you know, like the brother said, like these Amalekites, you know, these so-called Jewish people, fake Jews, you know, literally, you know, like you said, war's a racket because they make money. They sit back and they plot and scheme on ways to make money. You know what I mean? So, you know, like the brother said, when you take the time to really think about the future they have set up, they want to be able to access your bank account and charge you for everything to live. You know, that's a wicked device. You know what I mean? That's a wicked imagination. That's a wicked plan. You got it.
I was reading somewhere where they said Ford will have the power to be able to control your car if you miss a payment. You know,
I can turn your air off.
Yeah.
No AC.
No,
But they already had a kill switch though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And I mentioned too a couple weeks ago that cars manufactured after like I think the year 2004 or something like that, they all have computer chips in them.
Yeah.
You know, so all of these and now this. Why do you think that Esau is pushing these electric cars so heavy? Right? It's because they're able to control you even more.
Right.
Now you can't
go a certain distance.
Exactly.
Because
you cut your shit off right there, right there.
If they say you get, I was gonna say if they say you get 200 miles per battery or like per charge, and then that means you can only go 100 miles away from your home because you gotta go 100 miles back.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Links up with those 15-minute cities.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
That's the spirit, because like I was gonna make mention of the same thing, but when you go into that movie like Minority Report, you know, remember when Tom Cruise basically tried to go on the run and they was chasing him, what they do, they stopped the car. They tried to stop the car and all that other shit. So he had to get, you know, so yeah, basically they want complete control. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And you know who else got chips? So like it, but the NBA players, they wear chips too. To measure their workload. I was just seeing a video about it. Cause you know they trying to shorten up the games and stuff because the players complaining about too many games. So they make them wear C-hips on the outside of their skin. It's not under the skin, but it's like a sensor on the outside of their skin and monitor their blood pressure and all that. You know.
I think they implemented that during the pandemic.
Yep, they did. Yep.
I remember we saw articles.
Yep.
You got it. Now, but I was gonna say too, because even when the thing hit, what did they say? That they got a device that's gonna go under your skin. That's gonna be able to tell if you infected with the you know what I'm saying, all of that, man.
Yep.
All right. So
Like,
you got it.
You got it, brother.
No, you good.
You just made me think of like with the East Palestine thing. So like they talking about bringing out that technology, the medical technology, and then like you said, they implemented that. You know, Esau does a thing called gradualism, so he's slowly implementing certain things, and eventually that you know that C-hip is going to be introduced under your skin. You know, it's not a coincidence that you got a C-hip race right now. Like they was just talking about a company called Alibaba, and basically them, and I just did a video about this like yesterday or the day before, but them mixing with another company. They got like Alibaba is the parent company, and they got another company, and basically they trying to get into the whole chip industry, where they trying to buy a large section of it, and because it's a chip shortage, So I think it's the brother Bakura Mafia is going into basically you're gonna have a lot of companies that's basically gonna be trying to be in this industry. You know what I mean? Like
because that's the next big thing,
right?
Biden, a year or two ago, had passed a bill about manufacturing
it was called CHIPS.
Yeah.
The acronym was CHIPS. So and that's what the whole conflict between Taiwan and China. China is defending Taiwan because in the South China Sea you have one of the elements. I forget which one it is, but one of the elements on the periodic table in the South China Sea is there in abundance, and that's one of the main elements that they need to make the CHIPS. So that's why there's a big fight over U.S. want Taiwan, China want Taiwan. Everybody fight over Taiwan because Taiwan has control over that territory of the sea.
And the thing is, like you said, it's kind of like the Ukraine-Russia situation because Taiwan used to be a province of China. But now Taiwan is basically in league with America. So, you know what I mean?
But the Lord said he will put hooks in jaws, you know what I'm saying? Mainly doing Russia, but hey, you got to bring that out from Baba Shah.
The word gradualism is a policy of gradual reform rather than sudden change or revolution.
Yep. That's what Esau special. That's how he forwards his agendas. Read that again.
Gradualism, a policy of gradual reform.
Yeah, policy meaning laws, or ordinances. It says a gradual reform, meaning gradual change. Slowly but surely it's changing. Like you boil a frog, you slow, you do it slowly so you don't notice.
Can I add? If I may add, like for instance, human beings don't like change like that. So like if you ever notice, like when you were younger in school and you had to sit in the desk, you know what I mean? So literally, you would want to sit in that same desk. Right. But if they start moving that desk a little bit over each day, incrementally, a little bit, they would be done changed it, and you won't even be aware of it. You know what I mean?
So you got it. And that's what he's doing. He's slowly moving the. It's just like when you grow, like you not the same height that you was when you was 1 year old. It was a slow, gradual growth that took place, and to the point where you don't even notice that you've grown. You can't say I woke up feeling taller today. You don't notice it. That's how subtle the devil is. That's why the scriptures speak about him being a subtile more than any beast of the field, because he does things without you knowing it. There's something called subconscious, which means it's under the radar of being consciously aware of it. It's subconscious.
And that's spiritual that you said that, because I was listening to a video about a brother Bakura Mafia, and he was saying how like basically how subconsciously, like sometimes you think like you got companies right now in the news, they talking about you got companies that's basically trying to pass laws where companies can't force the C-hip on you. Mm-hmm. But it's a term called well, it's not any publicity, but all publicity is good publicity. You know what I mean? So that statement being said, basically, it doesn't matter if they looking at it in a negative light, as long as it's being looked at. Yep. So when it's being brought out, you already aware of it. You know what I mean? And that's why they put subliminally a lot of things in movies and shit like that. And music. You know what I mean? Because you subconsciously been taking it. Like when you pay attention to TV now, like watch HBO. Any HBO show has some form of homosexuality in it. Yeah. Because they gradually put. And I remember being young watching HBO, and it wasn't like that. So they gradually pushing that in your face to the day when we gonna wake up and
make it acceptable.
Right.
They do the same thing with cartoons, with children. You know what I'm saying? Now that's why these baby boomers is bugged out, man. Because all the GMO foods and the things that they seen on TV. But Yaquam had mentioned a point about a gradualism. Can you bring it out?
This is the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 22. It says, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him."
All right, and that's in the fullness of his sufficiency. When he thinks that everything is good, his plan is working, all right, he's gonna be in straits, meaning a difficult position, because the Lord is coming back in the midst of his the peak, right? The peak of his idea of the new world order. You know, you got it.
Get this word wicked real quick. In the blue letter, it says Amel. It says Amal. It says laborer, sufferer, wretched one.
Yeah, so when it going into the wicked, that every hand of the laborers shall come upon him, man, which is his own citizens. You know, the people rising up against the government, you know, and vice versa, the government rising up against the people.
Yep, sedition among men. They should not regard the kings nor princes. You know.
Verse 23.
Yep.
When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him.
Now you see, that's the point of when he's about to fill his belly. Now, when you're eating, right, before you get full, you continue to eat, right? And you're going at a good pace. You know what I'm saying? So this is the gradualism that Esau's doing. He's slowly reeling you Jakes in, man, for the woo-woo. Yeah. All right? He's really slowly really went for the woo-woo. All right? Until he gets to that point where he thinks that he's made it, man.
Right.
All right? They got, $500,000 of bottles of champagne already prepared. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All of that. That's what's going to happen, right? Go ahead.
It says, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him.
See, so all this gradualism is going to come to a halt, because now you know that he had but a short time, and he's going to come down. He's like, man, the hell with gradualism. Let me go ahead. They already done. These men on these highways and hedges is already calling me on my BS. Right. Let me go ahead and just say, all right, fuck it, I'm the devil.
Yeah. And you can see him lightweight getting in that spirit. You know what I mean? Like, look at how he's doing. You know, you saw a little bit of it during the pandemic. You know what I mean? Like, when you had people still trying to go out and about, and they was dogging little old ladies on the beach and shit. You know, dogging mothers with their kids. You know, if you ain't wearing a mask, get over here. You know what I mean? Slamming them on their shit.
Hit them with the scorpion.
Right. You still got some more there?
Look, Isaiah.
Hold on, let go something.
This book of Job, chapter 5, and verse 12, and it reads, he disappointeth the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot perform their enterprise. Verse 13, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. He taketh the wise in their own craftiness, and the counsel of the forward is carried headlong. So, I mean, basically, like, that's kind of self-explanatory.
I got one to back you up,
Hey, that disappointment, man. That's what, because Esau has worked so hard to keep the Israelites in an impoverished, ignorant state. Right. You know what I'm saying? That he will be like, damn, man.
Shemot, let me get this.
You know, you got it out. You got it.
Because, like you said, at the end of the day, they craftiness, because Esau set back, they thinking this they playing. Right. They thinking, like you said, they waiting to pop bottles and all that, but it's not really their plan, it's the Lord's plan. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19 and verse 31. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, that shall stand. When you go to that word, devices,
Right, because there's no such thing as called free will. Yeah. Hey, even the devil, you all know Harari said that. He said there is no free will. He said, Shalom. There is no free will. And that man up in the cloud, that's over. That's what the devil said, man. But it's the spirit. He said there's no free will, because it's not. All right, because Esau, you're the left hand of the Heavenly Father. Okay, known as the wicked. All right, wicked goes into being morally wrong, condemned, dark.
Delicious.
Right. Let me get this word device real quick. So this is Proverbs 19:21. Oh, let me hit it again.
Machashabah.
So that's in Hebrews 42 and 84, and that's the word for device, and it reads thought, device, plan, purpose, invention. So they plan. You got it, brother.
And the scripture talk about inventions, right? Right. So the Lord is exposing all these inventions, these new inventions, which is what these different devices that's coming up in these last days, man. You got it out. You got it.
To back y'all up, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, and verse 2. It says, "A good man obtain the favor of the Lord, But a man of wicked devices will he condemn.
Uh,
And that's what's going on. You know, and like the brother was talking about this devil, he's seeing that we're exposing him. You know, he's seeing that the good man is exposing all his devices, and he getting more proud and boasted up about that. But at the end of the day, the Lord is forcing his hand so that he can condemn him at the end of it all. But you wanted to Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1.
Hold on, the pause. I have you holding something up?
You had him hold that
Yeah,
word.
Matthew, and you got the word enterprise.
Yeah, can you get that word enterprise real quick? You can drop that, Matthew.
It say the word enterprise say a project of undertaking, typically one that is difficult or requires effort.
And see that, and Esau has been putting so much effort into subduing the people on this sign that when he knows that it's not going to work, it's going to be a major disappointment, man.
Yeah.
All right, because why? Because he knows that he's worked so hard to try to get his birthright back.
His whole existence depends on
Yep,
it.
yep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But your existence is already predetermined. That's the whole thing.
But that's where he loses that, because we already sitting out here telling him from the words of the Lord that he's gonna be condemned for that.
Yeah, get Isaiah. Baba Kishar, Psalms 55.
I got you.
add, like you said, when you take time to think about it, people hear these words, Illuminati and whatnot, and they think, oh, this is just something that just started now. But these plans and imaginations have been going on for centuries. Like this is nothing new. You know what I mean? Like you've had, like I said, when you go into Adam White's house, and I believe you had little secret pockets in societies before that. You know what I mean? But that's when the Bavarian Illuminati supposedly been started. But the point is that goes back centuries. You know what I mean? So yeah, they confounded like, well, damn, you know what I mean? How is they literally,
because in their mind they got the head start.
Yeah,
It's like we put together plans that take place over centuries. Like, you know what I'm saying? They ain't plan something for the weekend getaway.
Right.
They plan for centuries ahead of time.
Right.
They plan the Renaissance period. You know what I'm saying? They plan iconoclasm. And the result of it, they plan Jim Crow and all of that. So it's like their plan was so vast, you know what I'm saying? Like you said, it's like there was no escaping the will of the Lord. They confounded.
Okay, if I can say too, because even when you go to the beast system, the Greeks were the first Edomite head of the beast. So when you go back to what Antiochus IV did, he Hellenized the Jews, man, because they were the Edomites and they knew what the hell what was going on, man. Right? So they knew that in order for them to stay in power, Israel had to be completely yeah, exactly. Right? So they did what? They forced us to profane the temples, eat swine, be homo, I don't want to say the word, but be the part of the alphabet community.
Right.
All those things. You got it out.
And they use Jakes to do it, man. Just like today.
You get
You had that nigga D.
First Maccabees.
You had
First Maccabees one.
You had that nigga D. Wade, Dwayne Wade, done pushed his son to go full blown.
Yeah.
You know,
And he's sitting back, man. As a man, he's supposed to be whooping some ass, man.
you're really supposed to put him to death.
Yeah.
You know,
This was the first Maccabees.
Oh, you had some.
let the punch get
Yeah,
the
let
right.
This Psalm chapter 2, verse 4. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, and the Lord shall have them in derision. So you got Esau, he thinking, well, I took the Israelites down. I made them serve me. He thinking, ain't no God. I took the Israelites down. The Lord, he laughing like, bro, you just a tool. And like, we waking back up. Esau, he like, hold on, where they getting this information from?
Right.
But because the Lord giving it to us now, you're just a tool. That's what scriptures say. He, though they, what is it, in Obadiah 1, the pride of thy heart deceived thee. You thinking you the most high, whole time you the lowest man out here.
Yeah. And that's what Daniel says. Daniel says that it's the Lord that ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he set up over the basis of men. Right. So now we're in the basis of men, because Job told us that he was choosing the fools, they're choosing the base man in Job 30. Right. But you got it, Doc. You had something? Okay, come on.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 1 and verse 11. It says,
Maccabees.
this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. It says, in those days went there.
Hold on, start at 1 and then jump down to
11.
Yeah, we're closer to Antiochus.
All right, verse 1. It says, and it happened after that Alexander the son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and the Medes.
Yeah, that was Darius the third. Right. And that was Alexander the Greek, who they call Alexander the Greek. And Kittim is
That's like a part of the Romans land, right?
Italy, yeah. Yep.
It says that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
Like you said, the first over Greece. That was the beginning of. That's why the so-called white man, he says that civilization began with the Greeks. That's because that was the first civilization for his white ass.
That was his. Yeah, that was his starting.
Red ass.
Yeah.
You got it.
Devil, man. Going down to verse 11, right?
All right, so that's Alexander, and then from Alexander came 4 generals, right? And one of the generals, I believe, was it Seleucid that Antiochus came from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from Seleucid. Yep. That route. It talked about that in Daniel. Right. What was that? Daniel 7, I believe. Was it Daniel 7 or 8?
Daniel 7, Daniel 11.
Yep, kind. About that small horn. You got it, out.
Verse 11, it says, in those days when they're out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, just like you see today. You know, because how many people you think is persuaded by the Dwayne Wade thing? You know, how many people you think how many people you think is gonna be persuaded when they start getting these jakes to promote the Sea Hill? Right? It says in those days when they're out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
All right, this is that Edomite nation, man, the Greeks. Okay, the first head of the beast. So these are jakes that's saying, hey man, let's go make a covenant with them, man. Right. But in Isaiah, right, the 28th chapter, I believe it's 28. No, I got it.
I want to grab this precept dealing with the little horn that the brother's talking about. Being Antiochus Epiphanes the fourth, which came out of the Seleucid Empire, which is Edomites, man. This is the book of Daniel 8 and verse 9. And out of them came forth a little horn. Horn represents power.
Right, and out of them is talking about the 4 generals.
It says, which waxed exceeding great toward the south and toward the east and toward the pleasant land.
Yeah, what's the pleasant land?
Right.
That's the nation, the land of Israel. And then Antiochus, he came into the land of Israel after he pretty much lost. He tried to go into Egypt, and he pretty much got turned back around. And in his frustration, he stopped in Jerusalem and destroyed Jerusalem.
Right.
You know,
because he was stopped by the Roman, like one of the Roman generals. They had
Gaius.
Gaius
Papilius
Lanus. You know, because they it was like some of the Ptolemies was sending the word out to Rome because they had a
league with Rome.
Yeah,
the Ptolemies did.
So when the Romans got the word, they start sending men out to Antiochus who was trying to get money from around Egypt and Jerusalem. You know,
this is Daniel. Oh, that's it. Where you want me to go to?
No, that's it. About the little horn.
Yeah.
You read it? Did you read it all?
Yeah.
Okay, kind of.
This is Isaiah 28 and verse 13. It says, but the word of the Lord was unto them. Okay, verse 15. It says, because he has said, we have made a covenant with death, right? And because this is the man of sin.
Right, yeah, exactly, y'all. Right. Now what is sin? Salaki, sin is transgression of the law. 1 John 3 and 4, man. Now who continuously breaks the law?
Right.
Okay, who's in control of the world right now? Who's on the money? Who owns the central banks? Who owns the Vatican? Because these devils own the Vatican, man. They own the Vatican. You know, they own everything, man. You got it up.
It says,
and so if I can say, when you read in Revelation about the 3 unclean spirit like frogs, it's talking about the 3 different mechanisms of the entire beast system. All right, you got the financial, the military, and the finance. The finance is London. The military is America, and the religious parts is the Vatican.
Yeah,
all right, those.
DC.
What's that?
Washington D.C.
Yeah, it's Slocky. Yeah, Washington D.C. Slocky. So those
3 city states.
What's that?
The 3 city states.
Kind. So those are the three unclean spirits like frogs, man. So all of these are, like the brothers are saying, is a comprising of how Esau operates. You got it right.
Verse 15, it says, because he has said, we have made a covenant with death, and withheld are we at agreement.
And that's the covenant that was made even all the way back in the Greek Empire. All right, when the brother was just saying First Maccabees, the first chapter. All right, so so it's Jake's out here telling you to make a covenant with the heathen, right? But that covenant is with a covenant with death,
right? Because like we have read in First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11, he said, "Let us make a covenant with the heathen, for since then we have had continual sorrow." So they was looking at it like, you know, these heathens, these Edomites was their deliverer, man. You know.
I got this one.
Yeah, go ahead. You got it.
It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Yeah.
So if iron always rusts, and this is our enemy, he's gonna betray you. That's like having a pet snake, letting it loose in your house, and you like, oh, okay, we'll be good. You ain't waking up tomorrow.
Con.
Keep going on that. It's more on that.
Come on, the next verse.
Yeah,
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Right, because when you come crouching and humbly, he's deceiving you, man. Because this is all this man is about. It's about deception, man.
Yeah, that's what it says in Proverbs 26. It says, whose hatred is covered by deceit. You know, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation, man. So right now it's still covered up a little bit, but eventually he's gonna let them horns come out. You got it, boss. You keep going.
It say, and beware of him, and though thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst whipped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
He's still wicked. At the core, he's still wicked. His soul is not upright within him.
This book of Daniel, chapter 11 and verse 30.
That's the spirit. Goddamn.
It says, for the ships of Chittim, right? Because once again, the Romans had got word from the Ptolemies that Antiochus was pretty much doing dirt. You know,
coming to invade.
Yeah, right. Yep. And the Roman general came down to get at Antiochus. It says, for the ships of Chittim shall come against him. Therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the holy covenant.
That's what we mentioned about him trying to go into Egypt but getting turned around.
Yeah.
You know, because he left Ptolemy, was that Ptolemy VI?
Yeah.
He left Ptolemy VI as his underling to rule that region. But when he came back, Ptolemy VI had linked back up with his brother who had been a hostage. If I'm not mixing up the history, he linked up with his brother, and they the ones who reached out to Rome for help because they didn't want to be under Antiochus no more.
Yeah, and then the crazy thing is,
they never did. They was enemies the whole time. It was, the 6 Syrian Wars.
The crazy thing is, Ptolemy VI was Antiochus' nephew, right?
Right.
And so these Edomites,
they don't family. They don't. Nah. Well, even when you dealing with royalty, brothers, fathers, they get killed all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how it is when you got high-level bloodlines. Go ahead.
And this is a concurrent thing with the Edomites, man. The scriptures talk about they will mingle amongst men, but they will basically they're not going to agree.
Cleave one to another.
Yeah, this is an ongoing thing, man. Yep. And we see it playing on today with NATO and the EU.
It says, and return and have indignation against the holy covenant, so shall he do.
That's when he came into Jerusalem, which was what was the year? 175 BC?
175 through like
169?
Yeah, 169.
I think it was 169 BC when Antiochus IV Epiphanes came into Jerusalem. But you got it.
And it was like a
165, 175 to 169.
Yep. It says, so shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenant, going in again into the wicked Israelites, who was profaning the covenant by making covenants with the heathen.
Yeah, you got Israelites making covenants to this day, man.
Right.
When you got a 501 C3 tax exemption thing, that's That's a covenant, man. That's a contract. And in that contract, you can't speak on certain things, man. I guess the contract must have had the hell doctrine in it this year, because that's the new
that's something new,
revelation.
That's something new.
That's something new. They must have got the memo.
I don't know about that.
Big man up top must have told their ass what to teach next. You got it though.
Yeah. The whole revelation is something new.
This book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. It says, in those days when they're out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen.
Can I grab a precept real quick?
We got it up.
Sorry to interject, but this fit perfect. This is the book of Proverbs 26 and verse 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be shewed before the whole congregation.
Exactly. And in this specific verse, it was talking about, what's his name? Jason?
Yeah.
You know, who Antiochus Epiphanes had made a covenant with. But at the end game, you read in 1 Maccabees chapter 5 and talk about how, you know, he had tried to do the same thing Antiochus was doing when he got word that Antiochus was dead, and he had tried to ransack the land as well. But they ended up catching him in the act, and he had to flee, and he was hated, man. You know, so can you read that again?
This is the book of Proverbs 26 and verse 25. When he speaketh fair, believe him not. For there are 7 abominations in his heart. It said, whose wickedness is covered by deceit. His wickedness, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be shewed before the whole congregation.
Right, because the scripture talking about that, like the scripture talking about that where it say, they that look down upon him narrowly shall say, is this the man that shook kingdoms?
Right.
You know, that's how they gonna look at these you know, these heathen, these Edomites, these Amalekites, man. But also these Jakes who was in on that covenant gonna be ashamed as well.
Well, you know? Well, Israel don't know they got enemies.
Well, that proves that they're not gonna be burning in hell, man.
Right. Yeah.
Because
exactly.
like Pastor said, where we gonna get our slaves from?
Mm-hmm.
Where the spirits gonna go? Oh, the nigga Alazar, Sakari leader, he said that High Priest Ariana not gonna be in the kingdom. So where he gonna be at then?
Exactly.
So Sakari, you teaching hell too?
But see, I believe that Alazar thinks that Coolio gonna be above High Priest Ariana in the kingdom, man.
Right.
That fool, man. That's a whole nother subject.
They thinking that they still gonna be in the flesh when the kingdom is established on the earth, man. You know, these different wayward doctrines, man. There ain't no fucking place underground where you gonna burn forever, man.
We gonna be in the flesh with the spiritual bodies.
Right.
Power.
Back to 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 11. It says, in those days when they're out of Israel, wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. No new thing under the sun. It says, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the
they got that word device again, man.
Yeah.
That device pleased them well. Pleased who well? The Romans, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the Greeks, you know, because that was part of their agenda to further their kingdom. Because the Edomites know that the further away the Israelites fall from their power, the stronger their kingdom is.
And that's why
they can't get Judah 5.
That's why Esau be spending so much money on deceiving Jakes, man. You know.
I jumped on the 41
verse.
Let the you know, I got you. You still want that Psalms 58?
Oh, no, that's all good.
All right.
5 and 20.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Brother, bring that up first, and then you jump down.
All right. It's Judith chapter 5, verse 20. Now, therefore, my Lord and governor, if there be any error against the people and they sin against their God, let us
like the people is talking about the Israelites. You know, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, if there's error in our nation and we sin against our power, go ahead.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
Right, meaning when we're not following Yahweh Shema Shah as a nation with all our heart, with all our soul, we don't have a hedge of protection, man. You know, we come to ruin.
And let us go up, and we shall overcome them.
So what's the key to the heathen overcoming us? Keeping us in a state of ignorance and in a state of sin. You know, that's the key to the heathen overcoming us. That's what the scripture just said. And this was if I'm not mistaken, this was an Israelite giving intel to the heathen about how to overthrow Israel. You know, I got to go back and read that story again, but I think that person speaking was the Israelite telling the heathen how, you know what I'm saying, how to overcome us. It was either Israelite or a heathen general. But you got to ask like
Actually, I bring this out.
This is the book of Hosea 5, chapter 5 and 15. I will go and return to my place till they acknowledge their offense.
And what offense is that? Coming up short, man.
Right.
All right, following the ways of these doctrines and the philosophies of all these other nations. Right. But how is that? How are those ways made acceptable to the lower people on this side? Is by what? The higher up jakes, man.
Right.
The ones that you see on TV getting sipping on gin and juice, man. Right. And promoting it. Right.
And the Lord is serious about them acknowledging their offense, even unto death, because the Lord is gonna stretch them out all the way up until they cry to death unto the Lord, man. You know.
You got it right.
It says, in their affliction, they will seek me early. Right, early meaning what? Diligently.
Yeah. Right. So that's what's gonna happen, man. Okay, and their affliction is gonna seek the Lord early, but they don't even know what offense they're not acknowledging because they think everything's good. You got it right.
This book of 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 41.
And this is how this is how we don't know that that what offense we don't know and understand and what we don't acknowledge, right? You got it.
It says, moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom what all should be one people, that all should be one people.
And that's what's happening right now, man. The whole melting pot, America, Babylon the Great.
That's the spirit. They said they should go make a covenant with the heathens. You got Jake on the police force there, man.
Yeah.
You know, and these gonna be the Jakes that lock you niggas up, man. The Heavenly Father said he's a minister, talking about Esau, right? But his police force is a minister for him, because police force do you Jakes in, man.
But what did Ice Cube say? He said black cop showing out for the white cop. You know what I'm saying? So that's all Jake is trying to do, is fit into Babylon the Great, man. Right. All right, he's trying to make his life easier. When the Lord is going to make our life ultimately infinite better, man. Right. All right, you got it.
It says, and everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented, right, because this was the beginning of the Hellenistic period. You know, where they were trying to get all the, really they were trying to get Jake to get away from his law, because that was the most important, you know. But it says, yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
And why did they consent to this religion? Because why? Because they saw higher up Jake's consenting, man. Yeah. Okay, saying it's okay to do so. You got it.
Esau's pushing a new religion now. The new religion that he's gonna push is transhumanism.
Yeah.
And these Jakes, they're gonna consent to that. Right. That's why it says in 2nd Ezra 15, they that consent unto him shall be had in derision. Yeah, 2nd Ezra 16, those that consent unto him shall be had in derision and trod underfoot. Roughly paraphrasing. Because here it is, this man's gonna offer you a microchip to put in your head, and you're gonna consent to it, man. 2/3 of the nation Israel, you're gonna say, yeah, go ahead, Mr. White Man.
Right. That's why we say fuck you, niggas.
Make me your bitch.
Right. That's why we say fuck you, Jakes, man. Because you don't care about that, Father. And it's being revealed through the Spirit. It said the word of the Most High is quick and powerful, dividing between the edge, the sword, asunder, the intents of the heart. You niggas ain't right, man. You have a hatred for Yahweh Shem Shai, he's gonna pay you back to your face.
You got it out. You can bring it out.
Finishing off of verse 43, it says, yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, like you see today. Once again, it says, and sacrifice unto idols and profane the Shabbat, for the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Right, the strange laws contrary to the doctrine of Yahweh Shem Shai, what he told us to do, right? Because in Baruch, the 4th chapter, it says that the things that are pleasing to the Heavenly Father are made known unto us.
Right.
All right, and when we willingly choose to go against that, that's when we get jacked up.
Verse 45, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice which we know that was done away with, but it still applies to today because we got that third temple, that's that spiritual temple, which are these bodies, which they're still profaning now. You know, it says, and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Shabbats and festival days. Do you see Jake's out here keeping the Passover on his correct, or the Shabbat on his correct days? Hell no. They sitting up here thinking that these days all fall on a Saturday, Sunday, or fall on whenever Esau's calendar say it is, right? It says and pollute the sanctuary and holy people. It says
and basically that's the point. That's how Jake was cast away and manipulated in the first head of that beast, man. All right, you got a precept y'all saw?
You made a statement. I wanted to bring a precept out because you said Baruch chapter 4 about how it says his ways are plain onto basically how he wants us to serve him. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, or the book of Sirach, chapter 39, and the point is verse 24, and it reads, "As his ways are plain unto the holy, so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked." So you got 2/3 of our people that basically are automatically set up where they're not gonna get it. You know what I mean? They're not gonna try to come back. They basically, they Babylonians. You know what I mean? Like I said, you have a nigga that it's one thing to do something unknowingly, to be ignorant of it, but you have a nigga purposely do it.
right.
You know what I mean? And what can the Most High do with you? He can't do nothing with you.
And that's why in the second Ezra, Ezra called the Israelites heathen, right? He basically called them heathen. Why? Because they were taking on those heathenistic mindsets. Was that it on that? You got some more?
I'm gonna get this
Yeah,
verse 25 and then end it. For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for the sinners. So you know what I mean? Like basically, the Most High is waking, the hopeful elect up to, our heritage, bringing us back to the laws, statutes, commandments. This gonna, the ways of the Most High is gonna be a stumbling block to the wicked.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And that's gonna basically be to their detriment. It's gonna be to their downfall.
I got one for you.
You got it.
Slack it real quick, because that's that godly sorrow. That godly sorrow is what exactly, work of repentance, but the sorrow of the world work of death.
Yeah.
Right? Repentance of the world work of death. So this is what it is. Those things that the Lord is making known unto us are only going to be revealed to only a small number of men.
Yeah.
You got it, right?
And like you were saying, it being a stumbling block unto the wicked. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly, and none of the wicked shall understand, but the wise shall understand." Right. So really, that understanding, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and was given unto the righteous, who the Lord saw fit righteous. Because you don't think it was men during those times of the Grecian Empire who was looking at all of these, who was looking at Antiochus and looking at these Jakes who was following them, like, what the hell is they doing now? We should still be continuing and keeping the law of Yahweh Shah, right?
You got some more now?
Well, no, that's pretty much it. You got something?
You sure?
I can read it again.
No, you got it. Oh, you got something?
I got one based on what we were just talking about. Because, like you said, at the end of the day, the scriptures say this. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 22. And I'm going to start at verse 10. The point is verse 11. And it reads, "And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at hand." And we live in the times where prophecy is coming to pass.
Right.
So that's how we know what times we're in, because we're measuring the times by the words that's in the scriptures. Verse 11, and it reads, "He that is unjust, let him be unjust still." So let a nigga be a nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because this is ultimately the will of the Most High. You could try and tell an Israel, you might know he's an Israelite, but he don't know he's an Israelite. You know what I mean? And he don't want to be an Israelite. You know what I mean? And ultimately, the Lord gonna give him on to what he wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you said, he don't want to be an Israelite. And in time past, they fell away from being Israelites because they never. The scriptures speak about their heart was not upright with Yahweh Shema Shah. I think it's Psalm 75.
Going back to that unjust. You know what I mean?
That's
Go ahead.
Go
I was say that's spirit. 'Cause yesterday I was at the work spot, and it was a dude in there. And he said, "Man, Esau be tripping." And me and the brother, we heard it. We looked up. We said, "You know about that?" But as we was talking, we was conversing. It was other niggas in there. And they was like, they was trying to fake like they was asleep, leaving the break room. They went back to work instead of trying to hear the conversation. They don't want to hear being an Israelite. Like that.
And see, Jake knows who most Jakes know who Esau is.
Right.
You know that they Israel, but this is something that you can't be ashamed of. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times Jake will hold they tongue. You know what I'm saying? For the betterment of their situation. You know.
I got one. Now, this book of Romans, chapter 1 and verse 28. It says, and even as they did not like to retain Yahweh Bashim Shai in their knowledge, Yahweh Bashim Shai gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. So the Lord put his Lord said, fuck out. He put the spirit on these niggas to not get the truth, to not receive this, so they can do those things that's not convenient. Because this is convenient, man. This is convenient for our grace. You know, so that we will receive mercy from Yahweh Bashim Shai. So when that convenience run out, what is these people gonna do, man?
And that word reprobate goes back to worthless or unworthy. All right. So when the Lord jacks you up, you all the way jacked up.
Yeah.
Right. But you got it. You got that.
It also goes into avoid the judgment.
Yeah.
Reprobate means void of
So
judgment.
it's sloppy. You got it.
This is back in Revelation chapter 22 and verse 11. And it reads, "He that is unjust, let him be unjust still. And he which is filthy, let him be filthy still. And he that is righteous, let him be righteous still. And he that is holy, let him be holy still."
Yeah.
And when you go to that whole mean, so Salaki, the word holy being separate,
Yeah.
gosh. So, you're going to have, the hopeful elect that's going to be separated from this world that's full of darkness and filth.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we was just bringing up the fact that, I got children, brothers got children. Like I said, you live in a world where they pushing this shit on your children.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this is an unjust, filthy ass world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but the Lord said, lead those that's going to be filthy to that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got it.
Can I say something too? Speaking of filthiness, I don't know if brother saw it, but we had a Transformer and a Mo win the Grammys. You know what I'm saying? Win the song of the Grammys, man. You know? What's his name? Kim Petra and Sam Smith. A Mo and a Transformer, man. You know, and they did this satanic worshiping song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Everybody was
yeah.
on-
Unholy. This is
Called
yeah,
Unholy.
Unholy. Yeah.
You saw it just lately put out there now.
Yeah.
Clear their sin and Sodom, they hide it now.
Yeah. Because they know it's the end, man.
Yeah.
Like
What
we
you
had-
gotta lose?
Yeah, what you gotta lose,
Fuck
man.
it.
If you
Fuck
gonna go out, you gonna go out swinging, right? When Jake was or when fighters was fighting Mike Tyson back in the day, and they was getting their ass whooped, all that defense wasn't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? They said, "Hey man, fuck, if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out swinging, man."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So hey, all that that's what Esau's doing because he had but a short time.
Yeah, and the scriptures say the princes will have nothing to do with it. So, who's the prince's world? Who's the Edomites, man? He runs his world, man, and then people going to play stupid like he don't. They'll say it's everybody else, included. They some mixtures of Ishmael, it's China, they taking over. No, man. Esau still calls shots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, as we draw closer to the end, this thing is, it said evil man shall wax worse and worse. See y'all hold some scriptures, go and shoot off.
And then, if I can say too, that's it's only gonna be a small remnant of men that's gonna turn away from that.
Yeah.
And be protected by Yahweh Bashim Shai in these last days. But you got it out real quick.
This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse
And
18.
this is one of the men that stood up for Yahweh Bashim Shai. Can you get Psalms 94 and 16, Baba Shai? You got it out.
Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man and of a well-favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh.
All right, so this is one instance where an elderly man stood up for the name of Yahweh Bashim Shai by not eating pork, man, because pork is an abomination if you believe in the Bible, right? You got it.
But he choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth and came of his own accord to the torment.
And see, he would rather die gloriously, man. All right, because the scripture says that it's a precious precious is the death in the eyes of the Lord is the death of his saints. Right? So when we stand up for righteousness, when we stand up for Yahweh Bashim Ashai, because Ezra said that he commended them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. You know, this is what we have to do, man. By life or by death. Because like I had did a lesson a while ago, man, that death is an illusion, man. Okay, because the dead in Yahweh Shai is going to be joined with the living that get beamed up. All right, you want to say something? Come on.
You got that saying, if you're not willing to die for something, you're not really living.
Yeah, yep.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because the scriptures say that Revelation 12 and 9, they love not the life until the death. Yeah, I know, man. That's a big ass.
Revelation
12 and 11.
Revelation 12, verse 11. It says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. It says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death.
You see, so the Lord's elect that's going to follow the Lamb whithersoever he goeth are going to love not their lives unto the death. Right? Because we know that this life is bullshit, man. Because we rather die than to continue to live in this filthy society, man, full of Edomites and alphabet weirdos, man. You got it out.
This is 2 Maccabees 6:20.
Hey, if I could say, but what did the Apostle Paul say? He said that I would rather be with Hamashiach, but it must needs be that I have to be here on earth, man, because we have a job to do, and we understand that, right? But you got it out.
This is 2 Maccabees 6:20. As it behold them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful, for the love of life is to be tasted.
Because it's gonna come in. It's gonna come to a point where they're gonna ask him to act like he's eating swine's flesh, right? Because that's what Esau. That's how Esau gets down by this witchcraft and sorcery. Tries to use magic and sorcery to make it look like it's something, man. You know.
But they that charge of the wicked feast for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision.
So they took him aside. They think, come here real quick. Hey man, let me holler at you real quick. Hey man, I'm gonna give you this meat, but act like it's swine flesh. You see, so now when he goes around in front of the masses, he may be eating a piece of T-bone steak or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But the Greeks would tell the people, look, he's eating swine's flesh. All right.
Or you know, he didn't get the V, but he on the commercial talking about he got the V. How you need to get the V. Or she's happily married, but she's making a song talking about how you need to be a hoe and be independent. It's the same thing. It's the same strategy. That nigga Future said that he ain't never popped Molly or Percocet.
Right.
Percocet, Molly Percocet. Here this whole time, this nigga said I never popped Molly or Percocet.
But all at the same time, you got niggas bugging out over Molly and Percocet.
The scriptures say that the leaders of these people
Cause them
and our people look up to the entertainers that basically get in league with Esau.
Right. Hey, because Sierra had did the same thing. Made a song talking about all my single bitches and shit like that who don't need a man, independent and shit. But the whole time she got her husband in the back somewhere, man.
He just was talking about Sierra just did that shit. She talking about
that's what I said,
oh, Salaki, I hear you say.
No, but see, that's the whole thing. They use the higher ups on this sign, right? The top 5% of every person, everybody on this sign, to control the rest of the 95%, man. How you doing, man? You got it, right?
Such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat of the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded by the king.
You see, so that's what it was, and that they told him, hey man, just act like you eat swine, right? Go ahead, you got
that. That in so doing, he might be delivered from death, and for the old friendship with them find favor.
Right.
But he began to consider discreetly and as becoming his age and excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by Yahweh. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave.
Because he was a ancient man, but he was well known. Okay, and this is how they manipulate Jake, by taking the top men and making them do certain things, man. You see, what do you see? This whole man carrying purses and stuff, man. You got it out, yeah.
You made me think of something because I did a video back when Trump was in office. Because Lil Wayne, remember, Trump had Lil Wayne basically. He was doing all these press conferences with Lil Wayne. That's what, remember when he basically what's that shit called? Pardon Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Right, but I think that was like a stipulation of that pardon because he started doing like different press conferences with it. But they struck that video and basically they tried to say because I said that Lil Wayne was used to influence Jake.
Right.
And they was like, oh no, you know, basically they said they said some bullshit. But I was like, you know, what's the whole point of when politicians go use celebrities? Right. Like when Obama did it. Remember Obama had half of Hollywood basically promoting certain shit. So, you know, like you said, that's an old school tactic. You mentioned it in the scripture. Right. Fucking devil, man.
Lil Wayne was like really the first one that was wearing skinny jeans.
Right.
You know, you if you a man and you still in 2023 and you still wearing skinny jeans, man, you finished, man. You are finished. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, beautiful, man. But you got it up.
For it becometh not our age, said he, and any wise to this symbol, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now going to a strange religion.
You see, so he was 90 years old, right? And but bring that back. You said about the young what?
But whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now going to a strange religion.
You see, so the young man was going to look at Eleazar and look and see that this man of renown is going to bow down to the Greek way of living, right? Eating swine's flesh and wearing togas and all this other stuff, man. You got it, huh?
It says what,
4 and 10.
It's 90.
Yeah, 90.
And so they, through my hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and a moment longer, shall be deceived by me.
You see, so that's what it is. Jacob's gonna sacrifice a little extra time, right, living instead of worrying about everlasting life, man. So this is what Eleazar is trying to portray, man. Go ahead, you got it.
And I get a stain to my old age and make it abominable. For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men,
which meaning what? Meaning death? Death by man? Go ahead.
Yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead.
See, because why? Because it says that you should let me get a quick brief of that. Matthew, you said Matthew? Matthew 10:28. Yeah, that's it.
That go right into
Yeah.
Read that again.
It say, for it, this is Maccabees chapter 2, verse 2 Maccabees chapter 6, verse 24. For it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being 80 years old and 10, were now going to a strange religion. And so they, through my hypocrisy, for though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead.
Right, so he's like, what sense would it make for me to escape death of men, but then to be forsaken of Yahweh Shemel Shah? You know what I'm saying? What sense would it make for me to denounce Yahweh Shemel Shah, but to be saved, you know, be cool with men? That don't make no sense. It said if I would be a servant of Hamashiach, I should not, you know, pretty much care about what people think. It was like Galatians 1, I think. You know.
Pleasers of men.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Please, if I seek to please men, how can I be a servant of Yahweh Shemel Shah? So, go ahead.
This to tell you too, how you when you come back in the third, fourth generation, you'll just right. You know what I'm saying? So that's reincarnation right there. You know, you can't escape the Lord. That's why he said that, man. The reason for me to die in the Lord. You know, that part here is that. This part here. Which one?
So, last verse.
For though for the present time I should be delivered from the punishment of men, yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead.
Alive nor dead. So when you come back the next, all right, the Lord will meet you this time. So when you come back, come back here on earth, the Lord will meet you. You might do it retarded, you know what I'm saying? Right. Your blood might get cut off or something like that. You might be a midget or some shit. I don't know.
That's why the scriptures say, fear not him who can kill the body, but body and soul.
That's what that's like the brother saying, you know what I'm saying? That's what it talks about that. I believe it's Numbers, the 14th chapter, that you get your judgment, shut out at all and quit the wicked to the third and fourth generation.
This Exodus 34, verse 7, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the third and to the fourth generation. Yep. Like the brother said, that's where you come back in that third and fourth generation. And we in the third and fourth generation from chattel slavery, man. So that's why we know that recompense is about to come around for that, man. And the Edomites that's here right now is the Edomites that was your slave masters. They was your founding fathers. Okay, they're back here today in the reincarnation, and they gunning you down, they shooting you in the back, they giving you unbelievable sentences, you know. They in these different positions. Nero is back, you know. All those different prominent figures, Antiochus Epiphanes is back, Vespasian.
Nero.
Nero said that.
Yeah, okay, cool.
You know?
Matthew 10, verse 28. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Are not two sparrows sold?
The Lord said, because they talk about it's a place on the ground where you burn forever. The Lord said that number one, your spirit go back up to the Father, right? But it just said, read that verse again.
It says, and fear not them which kill the body,
right? Which is humans, man.
But are not able to kill the soul.
They can't affect your actual spirit because your body is not you. Your spirit that's in your body, that's the real you.
Right.
So they can't touch that, and that spirit is actually a fire. The Lord said He make His ministers a flaming fire. You know, He said He is the Father of spirits. You know, a little spark, roughly paraphrasing. So spirits are just fire. So that being said, how can you burn a spirit with fire?
Right.
How can you burn fire with fire? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
that's what it said. The same thing in Revelation. It said death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. Right. So how can fire burn fire?
And that's why when you die, when your spirit leaves, your body turns cold.
Right.
You know?
Right.
The Lord say He's gonna remove their candlestick, but you know, hey.
Well, Ecclesiastes 12:7. Ecclesiastes 12:7 saying your body go down to the dirt and your spirit go back up. You know, so it's like.
Yeah, read that one.
All right. You got it. Yeah, I still got some money.
It said so everybody in hell, but like you said, the vessel goes to the earth. The Lord said, "Thus shalt thou return."
Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 7, it says, "Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return to the heavenly Father who gave it."
So that's plain. The spirit is going to return to the heavenly Father who gave it. Now they'll probably come and say, "Well, yeah, that's how it is right now." But when the destruction comes, it's more going to create a new place.
Right.
Called hell. You know, just doesn't make sense,
Yeah,
bro.
book, chapter, verse.
Yeah,
You know, where's that at?
Doesn't make sense.
I think was you got on that first Maccabees? I mean that second Maccabees. You got that Psalm 94 out?
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
It says Psalms 94. I'm gonna start at verse 11. Psalms 94 and 11. The Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, knoweth the thoughts of man, that they are vanity. Blessed is the man whom thou chastenest, O Lord, and teachest him out of thy law, that thou mayest give him rest from the days of adversity, until the pit be digged for the wicked. For the Lord will not cast off his people.
Pit be dig for the wicked. The word pit mean grave.
It says, for the Lord will not.
Not eternal hellfire.
Right. It says, the Lord will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance.
The Lord will not cast off his people, neither will he forsake his inheritance. Another scripture is Malachi 3:6. I am the Lord Yahweh, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. So how the 2/3 gonna be consumed in the lake of fire? The Lord said that the whole purpose of Yahweh Shah was to turn away ungodliness from Jacob. Okay? To turn away the transgressions from Jacob, man. That means the entire nation.
Right.
Yeah,
It says, but judgment shall return into righteousness, and all the upright in heart shall follow it. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
Like it, bro. And it said that the upright shall follow it.
Yup.
That's that remnant coming back to follow the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Okay, because only the remnant is going to understand the righteous aspect of this life that we're living, man.
Like the brother said, the stumbling blocks to the wicked.
Yeah.
You know, it says, who will rise up for me against the evildoers, and who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
And that's what we're doing, man. We're standing boldly, man, in the face of our oppressors, right? Calling this devil out, man, and not being afraid of the consequences that come with it, because we don't look at it as consequences. The scripture talk about count all things, basically count all tribulation as glory,
Right.
you know. So all these things are going to come up to us. The same things that happen to, I'm not going to say the same thing, but our affliction is like what Yahweh Shah had to go through, man. All right? Was that it on that?
Yeah, that's it.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 8. According as it is written, Yahweh has given them the spirit of slumber.
Yeah, come on.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 7. What then?
That's the start at the top. Because it makes a point.
This is Romans chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, have Yahweh cast away his people?
Once again, is the Lord going to cast away the 2/3? You know, because remember, at the same exact time, you had 2/3 doing 2/3 shit. You had 2/3 being Gentiles in the flesh. Them niggas were supposed to be burning in hell. You see what I'm saying? So the Apostle Paul, it's pretty much the same context as this time frame right now. So we can use this as an example to say that the 2/3 are not going to be consumed in no lake of fire for eternity, man. They're going to be consumed in a lake of fire that's created by thermonuclear missiles that's going to destroy America and the fire from the chariots. But after that death that they die, they're not going to suffer no more. They're going to go back to the spirit world. They're going to find rest, and they're going to come back down in the kingdom of heaven as a newborn baby. That's why Yahweh Shah said you can't get the kingdom unless you be born again. You either going to be spiritually born again or physically born again. The 2/3, they're part of that group that has to be physically born again. Go ahead,
Yahweh forbid, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, the tribe of Benjamin.
Right. And you had Israel. Go ahead.
I was gonna say too, Slakia, that if the Lord was to allow his people, 2/3 of his people, to burn in eternal hellfire, and that's not a merciful Lord, man, right? Because the scripture says when you go down in Romans 11 that all Israel shall be saved.
Right. The Lord said, "I will not keep wrath forever."
Yep.
You know.
But in the 28th verse, I believe it's the 28th verse, it says that they're enemies for the gospel's sake. but for election's sake, they shall obtain mercy from the paraphrasing, man. All right, so but for the gospel, for right now, they're enemies, man.
Right.
But the Lord is going to have mercy on them after all the destruction hits, man.
Like the
Yeah, I just want to say this. Can you get this scripture?
You got it.
it back.
This is book of Acts chapter 2 and verse.
Lift up, Bach. Lift up, Bach.
This is book of Acts. This is book of Acts chapter 2 and verse 31. He seeing this before spake of the resurrection of Yahushua, that his soul was not left in hell, neither his flesh did see corruption.
So you gonna tell me the Messiah he went to hell?
The Lord was in hell.
Yeah.
That's what the scripture just said.
Right.
So you got to make it make sense now.
Yeah, God, yo.
And the only way you can make it make sense is if you say that hell is the grave.
Right. Exactly.
And that's what it is, man.
Because where else did the Lord go?
Right.
When he was on the scene, so-called died, right? All right. And it said, what did that part say?
It says he seeing this before spake of the resurrection of Yahushua, that his soul was not left in hell. It says neither his flesh did see corruption.
It didn't die. The worm in his body, man.
Yeah, decomposed.
Yeah, it didn't decompose, man. His body was not left in the ground and decayed and stuff like that. Right.
Because after the third day, he rose.
Exactly.
And after 3 days, you start to decay. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So the Lord knew what he was doing. So that would mean, if we're going according to the logic of a Roman Catholic Church or IUIC, that would mean that Yahushua was in hell, man.
What about Lazarus? Was he in hell?
Right, that's what I'm saying.
That's we home right now.
Oh,
That's fair,
okay.
Yeah. That's all you have. You got it out.
This is Luke chapter 16, verse 22.
Now here it is, the Lord gonna say the elect, right? Lord gonna say the elect, they women, they children, but the elect mother, the elect father, the elect cousins, nephews, all them niggas gonna burn eternally.
Right.
Eternally.
Right.
While we in the kingdom kicking it, and we just gonna be in our new bodies like, yeah, my mama, she in that bitch burning. Like, it just don't make sense. You know what I mean?
That's taking on the ideology of Greek mythology, man.
Exactly.
Because the Greek mythology tells you that there's a place underground that you're going to burn forever, man.
Right.
But the scriptures speak nothing to that, man. All right? You're going to receive your judgment here on earth.
Right.
You got it, huh?
This is Luke chapter 16, verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom.
All right, the beggar is Lazarus, all right? And this is a parable, okay? And Lazarus represents the entire nation of Israel, okay? You got that?
Now this is book of Hosea, chapter 12 and verse.
Right here.
Verse 10.
Oh, God.
It says, I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions, and used similitudes by the mystery of the prophets.
You see?
By the ministry of the prophets.
So the Lord uses similitudes and parables out of the mouth of his prophets. So when we read Luke 16 and 19 about Lazarus and the rich man, this is a parable, man, symbolic. Okay? You got it.
Yeah, what's the word parable? Parabole, I think it's in the Greek. It means to throw alongside. I mean, you use something, you put something on the side of something else to, you use something to mirror something else. You use something, you know what I'm saying?
The rich man also died and was buried,
The rich man is Esau. Go ahead.
and in the hell he lifted up his eyes.
Now that hell is talking about in the kingdom of heaven, man. Because it's going to be his hell and it's going to be our heaven. That's why the Lord said the first heaven and the first earth are passed away. You know? Because this is their heaven. But it's going to come a new heaven and a new earth. And that heaven is the heaven of the Israelites. And by default, it's going to be the hell of the heathen nation. Because the heathen nation, they consume the Israelites over the ages.
And it's only two different types of hell, man. Okay, you got, like the brother had mentioned, the grave and again the condition. All right, now this parable is talking about the condition that's going to be switched places, because when you read Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7, it says that those curses are going to be put on our enemies.
Well, you got 3 hells. You got the grave, you got the condition, and you got the lake of fire.
Kind.
The destruction.
Yeah. And then it's like it too. Yahweh shall also talk about hell fire, which was pit. Yeah.
That's another context of hell. A geographical location.
Once again, the scripture talk about how hell shall be cast into the lake of fire.
Right. You gotta make that make sense.
Yeah.
You know? Hell gotta go to the lake of fire.
Yeah.
Hell was too bad. We gotta throw hell in the lake of fire. So where the lake of what are you gonna throw the lake of fire at, Lord? Lord gonna throw the lake of fire into the lake of nuclear fire.
Yeah. So hell is gonna be burnt forever by hell. Right.
You must have niggas already in hell, and those niggas gonna get thrown into the lake of fire in destruction. I guess that's how it is.
They say it was cast out like go pick that bitch up.
Right. No, that means that the Lord's gonna bring hell to the planet Earth. When the missiles hit, this place gonna turn into a lake of fire, man. 5,000 square miles, thermonuclear fire, man. People gonna be turned to. You literally gonna go from a Chinaman to Athens, man. That's how Lord gonna do people, man.
Did y'all see this?
I just want to say, like, Fox Darby was always joking. He said, people gonna be backstroking in the lake.
Did y'all see that one dude? It was like I guess it was sort of like an experiment, but he stood on a wall and he had some type of radioactive thing, and they did a blast of radiation, and it left like he moved and left
his shadow stayed right there.
Stayed right there.
And they said that he died. That dude died.
It said he died.
Because when you have stuff like that, Pompeii, the volcano explosion.
Oh yeah.
Pompeii. Like you said, it was bodies that's still like petrified, and you got even shadows. Like shadows are still in the ground thousands of years later.
Well, you got Lot's wife.
And even
Those are called.
No, I'm about to say even Moab, man. I mean, Ammon, right? Ammon is still having children born with birth defects from Hiroshima and Nagasaki, man. All right, missing fingers and missing limbs and face all fucked up, man.
And this is
the cleft lip,
and this is all on who? Esau, Edom, man. You know, even in India, Elam, you have children being deformed. They got like diseases like skin of like tree barks and shit. This is all because of Esau, and this is the Heavenly Father doing this judgment.
This book of Jonah, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, then Jonah prayed unto the Lord his power out of the fish's belly.
Okay, so Jonah was in the belly because why? Because Jonah didn't want to go to what was that?
Nineveh.
Tarsus.
Nineveh.
Nineveh. Yeah, he wanted to go to Tarsus. Yeah, he took a ship to Tarshish, but the Lord overthrew that ship because Jonah didn't want to go to Nineveh.
Yeah, he was supposed to be going to Nineveh.
Yeah, to preach the word, to warn the people, right? But Jonah didn't want to do that. So what? So Jonah took a ship to Tarshish, but the Lord caused a violent storm to overthrow that ship, and Jonah fell out in a whale swallow, right?
It didn't even overthrow the ship. It just
tossed him off.
Yeah, it scared him.
Okay,
the Lord made it do enough to scare them to throw Jonah overboard.
Hell
as soon as dude Jonah overboard, everything stopped.
Yeah.
That's why they was like, oh man. Yeah.
That's why they was asking them, where you from?
Right.
Everybody, where you from?
What's up, God?
Yeah.
Funny too, when you look up when he got swallowed, I was like you said, but it said like a big ass fish. Not a real guy, it's like a big ass fish.
Okay,
But it said like a monster or a fish. I forgot the Hebrew word.
Yeah, sea monster.
Yes.
The word whale, I think, go into sea monster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
But big
And
fish.
it was a video showing somebody kayaking. Y'all seen that?
Yeah,
and they had got swallowed by a whale.
This was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
There's an Edomite.
Yep.
People gonna starve though. That's what they supposed to do. But like you say, whales. Like you think about whales today, they eat sea lions all the time.
Yeah.
That's part of their diet. So a sea lion is bigger than any man.
Yeah.
So it ain't hard to believe Jonah got swallowed, man.
You got it.
It says, verse 2, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the
Okay,
Lord.
so Jonah was afflicted at this time, and what happened? What did he say?
He said, and I cried by reason of my affliction unto the Lord. And he heard me out of the belly of hell.
Out of what?
Out of the belly of hell.
So that's Jonah letting us know that at this particular time he's talking about hell, but he's talking about his estate right now, man. What the position that he's in. All right, so you're gonna have multiple types of hell, and there's not like the Spirit's been going into with the elders and apostles. There's no such thing as eternal damnation, man. Okay, you got it.
I want to add to what you're saying, Suwat. When you look up the origins of hell, Esau got it in his Bible dictionary. He says the word hell goes back to the word Gehenna, all right, which means a waste dump where we used to dump trash, burn trash, right, in Jerusalem, man. That's where hell doctrine comes from, man. You know what I'm saying? We used to burn trash, man. All right. And I think it says something.
And also you burn dead bodies there too.
Yeah. There you go. Y'all dead bodies, man. You know what I'm saying?
Sacrifice there too.
Y'all, and then you go to the new meaning of hell in the New Testament. Goes the Greek word Hades, all right, which is a mystical, made up story, all right, of a damnation place, man. So, but that's fake unless you believe in that Greek mythology.
Right.
Are you people believing in Greek mythology?
Right.
Exactly. They're gonna say Zeus is real. You know what I'm saying? Pluto is real and shit. So you people you don't have no understanding.
Yep.
Y'all got it.
That's the brother about the word hell in Jonah 2 and 2.
Right. It says Sheol. It says underworld, grave, hell, pit. The underworld, it says
Underworld, grave, hell, pit. That's what it means. It means grave. It means pit. It means underworld. But when you die, you go under the earth.
Right.
It's not talking about an actual world with inhabitants that's underground and it's a red all the time. The sky is always red.
Some man with a
even
pitchfork.
on
The grass is always fire.
Yeah,
Even on the blue letter, they kind of going off. You know,
Of course.
it says
You gotta have discernment.
Yeah.
The blue letter is not our teacher.
right.
It's our resource. It's a reference or resource.
Right, because in the specific verse, he was crying out to the Lord about being in the belly, which he called hell. But when you go here, it says place of no return. So, but did he return from that pit? You know,
This one's the definition.
it says without praise of Yahweh, Shah, we can. Get some more. It says without praise of power, we can sit there for punishment.
Hold on, it said without praise of the Heavenly Father.
Yep.
Hey, what did the Lord? What did Esau take away from us, man? The name of Yahweh Bashim Shai. So that way we can't praise him, right? So that was the beginning of our hell when they completely like the brother Yaquan said. This is the only this is the worst time for the Israelites, man.
Right.
Because this is the only time that we didn't know who we were or what power that we served. Right. So now we were literally in hell because why? Read that definition out again.
Well, the Lord also said that he's a jealous power. Yahweh Shema Shah is a consuming fire, man. He said we have kindled a fire in his anger which shall burn forever, man. So and the Lord said because that fire that was kindled, he's gonna put us in captivity, being discontinued from our heritage, man. He's gonna put us in hell. Because we made the Lord hot. We made the Lord mad. He said the people that provoke me to anger to my face, that sacrifice, upon groves,
I want to make a point. You in the blue letter, the word hell. Like when you jump down to the Brown Driver Briggs lexicon, and you go into the context of Jonah 2 and 3, it is say under mountains and sea. So it's showing you that was the hell that Jonah was in, under the mountains and the sea, meaning he was under a certain place, right? Not a fucking place where you burn with fire.
That lines up with Amos 9 and 2. Though they dig into hell, and they in the top of Carmel, then saw my hand take them. Right. So who's digging into hell? Which one of these Edomites is digging a hole and going into hell? Right. Y'all got it.
It says a place of exile.
I just got a quick precept.
The place of exile was America.
Right.
The place of the Israelites' exile was the Western Hemisphere. Man. We got pushed out of our homeland. And it sure is hell over here. You got it though, right?
This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 17. It says, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Heavenly Father and have the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. So that's that portion of hell, man. Because when that dragon, which is the beast system, okay, is wroth with the woman, which is Israel, and that remnant is the elect that Esau is going to make war with, man. Okay, and now this is why on this side the elect's hell is right now, man.
Hey, a lot of you jakes that's on the street corner, you niggas, they talking about what is the president of Ukraine talking about America going to send their sons and daughters over there now. That's a form of hell, man. You know?
Revelation chapter 11 and verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come.
Most High's wrath about to come, man.
And the time of the dead that they should be judged.
The dead is talking about the other nations, man. If you put them in comparison to our nation, the nation of Israel, they're dead, man. Our spirit is more lively than them. I remember going back 2 weeks back, I don't know if y'all remember, but they talking about how a Moabite's across the street and a damn 18-wheeler or some shit like that, a truck about to hit his ass, man. I remember Mario was talking about that shit, man. And I did see down there, and I was looking, and then there was brothers telling me like how the truck was about to hit this nigga. The truck, I guess the truck driver didn't see him, but he stopped on time. But the Moabite, he up there walking like ain't nothing about to happen, man. Like, what the fuck is wrong with your stupid ass, man? Like, dude, this nigga was not affected at all. Like, he just knew that trick was not about to hit him, or he just didn't give a fuck, man. But that's an example of being dead, man. Because that was a Jake, man. He would have ran his eyes out of the way, or he would have saw or something. You know, Jake looking across the street, man. This motherfucker, he was truck about to hit his ass. This nigga just.
That's spirit. I seen the Israelite downtown do the exact same thing. Right in the street, not looking. I'm like, you know, see this car coming? The car ain't seeing it. The car had literally slammed on the brakes, and the dude was like, "This is bad." You know what I'm saying? Damn, it got ran over though. But I was like, I told my wife, I said, "Look, you're about to get judged." I said, "Look." And then the dude hit the back. I said, "Damn!" I said, "Ooh."
And once again, calling the heathen dead because they wasn't given the law.
Right, exactly.
Which is a quickening agent.
Right.
Into the life.
There you go.
It says, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name shall small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth.
All right, and who's destroying the earth?
Let's sit up.
Did you see about this waste dump over there in East Palestine, Ohio? All right, they saying the remainders of that waste, they talking about shipping it to Texas, Michigan, okay, Illinois. All right, and so they want to take the waste that was dumped. Dumped in Ohio, East Ohio, Palestine, right? And they want to bring it to another part of the U.S. so they can spill it again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why they taking that and moving it somewhere else. Right.
Now,
they plan on spilling that shit again.
I had seen somewhere that somebody posted a picture. They were saying how the contamination that they brought to Texas, they actually caught a Texas plant on fire. Now, I'm not sure how real that was. I gotta look into it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Also, they were talking about how it was 40,000 fish that died from toxic waste.
Yeah.
You know, so this devil could easily take his hand off of that plow and just let the earth replenish itself.
Yeah.
You know, but he's not gonna do that. You know, because the Lord's judgment gotta come.
Yeah, these people said to judge that waste, whatever is spilled, all right, that contamination. They say it have an effect on your lungs, man.
Yeah.
All right, it gives cancer and other types of effects.
They say it's invisible to the eye, but it's paying the taxes to the body.
There you go.
Ever since Chernobyl, Esau, he been doing that. Chemical. Ever since Chernobyl, you always see that. Like, it's so many documentaries. You would think that this is so dangerous. You got to stop doing it. There's been more factories and stuff like that built. They know, like, it's really.
And then it's in the Illuminati card game.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Illuminati card
Yeah,
game
yeah.
talking about
Go ahead.
trade relevance.
Thank you.
All right, and weight spilling, man. So I got the guy that made that card game, but it's showing itself, man. All right, that card game is being revealed, man. All right.
That's why Esau don't give a fuck no more. You know, this is why you see all this catastrophe, this chaos going on, man.
This is Jeremiah 51 and 25. It says, "Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth. I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain." I'll break it down now. Jeremiah 51 and verse 25. It says, "Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth. I will stretch out my..."
Esau, if I can say St. John 10 and 10, the thief cometh not before to kill, steal, and destroy, man. That's what Esau, that's how he coming, man. Every time.
Right. And then the word mountain, Esau knows himself when he goes to the summit. The word summit means a mountaintop.
Right.
All right. And what does those summits consist of? Top governments of the world, man. G20 summits and stuff like that, man. All right. All them world economic, world gatherings of the leaders. It's a big ass summit, man. They call it the summit. So we just want to get out.
Jeremiah 51 and 25. "Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain,
All destroying government, go ahead.
saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth."
Which destroys all the earth. Who's in charge of this? The red man, the true red man.
Yeah, he's the one
Okay.
that's leading all those on those mountains.
Exactly.
The main mountain. That's why he's called the Destroyer Mountain.
Yeah.
Because it lists the mountains in Psalms 83 about which governments it's talking about.
Right, and we're at a point where everything is goddamn artificial, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, nothing is real.
Yeah.
Okay, this man is fucking up the animal ecosystem and all that stuff like that. Everything is off course, man. Even the damn weather, the earth is off course. The earth cannot grow things like it used to.
Right.
Okay, and it's good to tell you how the animals are going to change their habitation. All right, due to this course. This man's throwing off the vibration of everything Heavenly Father, man.
And this man's solution is plastic food.
Yeah,
You know, it can't
fake
get no worse.
food, Beyond Meats, GMOs.
They got computer made generated meats now, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, 3D printed meat.
yeah. So,
This is Psalms chapter 82, verse 5. "They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course."
damn.
Verse
Yeah,
6.
you go out. You know, go out.
Hey, the foundation, man, the base, the baseline, man.
Yeah.
Right, that means what the first thing the Lord established.
Yeah.
Even that is out of whack, which is man and woman. You know?
It says that no, I'm saying, because even in Daniel 7, it talks about that they think to change times and laws. All right, because why? Because Esau has a God complex, and he thinks that he's sitting in the seat of the Heavenly Father, thinking that he is the Heavenly Father, man.
Yeah, well, because it said it was given to the power in their hands. That's why they got that. So they proud like.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. You finish up on that too.
No, that's it.
Jeremiah 51 and 25, it says, "Behold, I'm against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroys all the earth."
So God is not going to bless America. God is against America because America has destroyed the earth. Mentally, you destroy the minds of the people. You destroy history. You know, you destroy the future. Look at your plans for the future. It's already destroyed. If we allow your future to come to pass, even the future is nothing but destruction, man.
You look at all these movies, you know, because Esau's
dystopian society.
Yeah, man. It's all bugged out, man. You know, you got some movies you got to pay for air,
Right,
like little helmets.
Right, you be plugged up to a damn computer.
Yeah, yep.
They showed that show, The Last Man on Earth. It was like a virus that wiped out everybody. It was like certain populations. He put his mom, some people, he was like, ain't nobody else. I'll just kill myself. And all the Edomites was about to do that shit. They thought everybody else, so they ran into each other. Like, it was no more wickedness on the do, so he like, fuck it. I'm about to take myself out.
It says, continuing on, it says, and I will stretch out my hand, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks.
Yeah, and he's going to use Yahweh Shai. Because Yahweh Shai is the right hand of Yahweh. And Yahweh Shai comes back to roll these devils down from the rocks, man. Take them out of that high position. Cast them down to the earth, like it says in Revelation 12 chapter.
It says in Daniel the 2nd chapter about a stone hewn without hands.
Yep.
That's Yahweh Shai, man. Coming to make that impact of the to the feet of iron and miry clay.
Right.
Okay, that's the kingdom that we're in right now.
Right, and then you want to talk about them menace to society. Well, you're the epitome of that, man. Okay, you want to talk about a criminal. All right, you want to look up the word criminal, and it should be an Edom picture of a damn Edomite, man. You know what I'm saying? Because scriptures tell you that he's a vagabond and what else? Fugitive, man. You running from justice, man.
Right.
And
You
that,
okay?
and that word criminal goes back to the word crimson, meaning red. So Esau, you finished, man. You finished. Even anybody looking right now in the car. Through that car. All right. But I had to add some more of this slide. It says, and I will stretch out my hand upon thee and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. Okay, and the Lord is going to roll them down from the rocks. It says that in Obadiah, right? That the dwelling places on high, those that dwell in the cleft of the rocks. That's why they build all these tall skyscrapers and all these tall buildings and stuff like that, because they look down on the people. Because why? Because that shows a position of power, right, when you're able to look down on people. All right. But yeah, you got
This book Isaiah chapter 29 and verse 16. Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding?
Right. And the potter's clay, okay? The Lord took, you're the clay, the people is the clay, right? And the Lord's the potter, man. The potter makes the clay, form it, and makes it how he wants to, man. How he crafted. All right, and the Lord said he made a vessel to honor and dishonor. You're the vessel to dishonor, man. Okay? All the nations are starting to see, man, that you're no good, man. You're no good for mankind. All right, you have no fucking business ruling planet Earth. You constantly keep showing your hand more and more. Like I said, I just mentioned the Grammys. All right, the other nations laughing at you, man. All right, with your military, you got moles and transformers. Okay, when in the meantime, China and Russia, even old Edomites, man, they said we ain't been dealing with no sissies, man. Yeah. We ain't dealing with no wuss, no feminine men, in our military, man. Okay, and I remember during that time, they was displaying they managed. They got robots breaking goddamn, still hitting themselves with fucking bricks and shit like that.
Same thing with them, the Ukrainian general, how they had him on a picture with some moat apparel. You know, these are President Zelensky. He's a moat. And he's an insider. Like I said earlier, this whole war is just money laundering. You know, right. And I just want to say, like, as an officer, they can show other people. So, you know, I was watching the video of these Ukrainian during their war against the war, which is still going on now. Their war against Russia was still going on now. There was some Ukrainian soldiers twerking and doing some weird stuff on the line, though.
You know, it's even talks that the war is not even, you know, really all that real. You know what I'm saying? I've been hearing rumors about that. You know what I'm saying? That the war is really not even real. You know what I'm saying? But you, like I say, you won't be surprised because you mentioned Dia, which is an app that Ukraine, during the war, Ukraine pushed this app called Dia. And what Dia is, it pretty much digitized is everything. I think even like services and like food, bus, you know what I'm saying, train, your bank information, your medical information. They said that on the app Dia, people can report if they think that somebody is helping the Russian government. Just when Ukraine pushed out, their driver's license, all that is on this app called Dia. And they said that they used the war to accelerate the digitalization of their nation. So this is like a model type for what the entire world's gonna be. And they already talking about using Dia in Switzerland and Poland. They're gonna use the same app to do the same things. And when they said that you could use the app to report people who you think might be helping the Russians, you know, because they're in Ukraine, so they say, well, you know, if you're helping the Russians, you can report these people. They're gonna use that against the prophets. Right. They're gonna use an app like that. You see these men, you know, you can punch in their geographical location, you can snap a picture, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what they're gonna do when they come with this second, you know, push. Yeah. So that Dia though, you brothers research that the Apostle Tahari, he did a video on it, but he didn't do the video on it. He just did a video saying to click the link in the bio to go watch the video, because he didn't want the video to be taken down. But if you watch the video, it's a real good video to talk about that app, man, and how they digitalize it, you know, which you already know why they doing that.
They digitalizing everything, man. Even with East Palestine, like a couple days before the trains derailed, they came out with something called My ID, right? And that was it's like a device you put inside yourself, you know, and it makes you you know, aware of different ailments and if you're exposed to any type of chemicals or something like that, you know. So Esau is already prepared, man.
Yeah, they said that Dia app, they said they can conveniently register their license. Like, you're gonna renew your license, you ain't gotta go to the BNB, wait in line. All you gotta do is push a button on your phone. See, this is how they trying to do the new system. They want everything to be digitalized, even like your license, all of that to be digital, so where you can just hop on the phone, boom, I renew my license. When the cop me, I just show them my phone, they scan my hand. You know what I'm saying? That's how they want it to be.
It's all the guys of convenience.
Right.
You know, and you know, because we're living in a microwave society where people want instant gratification, man. Yeah. All right, and people don't want to work for what they get. The elect are going to be working to get to the kingdom of heaven, man. Because we know that through much tribulation we're going to enter in, man. Yeah. You got it. Right?
I had Googled. Go ahead.
Yeah, go no.
I had Googled the Dia, right? This came up on Wikipedia. It says it was launched in 2020. The Dia app, DIIA, allows Ukrainian citizens to use digital documents in their smartphones instead of physical ones for identification and sharing purposes. The Dia
Esau want to do away with paper altogether. Esau don't want to have no paper. If I'm Esau, I'm probably thinking I don't even want a written language. Like, right. He's trying to do away with everything. He's telling you that he want to do away with books. Right. He don't want no more books. He want e-books.
Right.
E-books.
Right.
He glorified these lights, man. He worshiped these lights, this technology, man.
Because that all this shit goes back to control, man. You know what I'm saying? With that digital, everything electronic automation, it's all in his power, man.
All trackable.
You know what I'm saying? It's all trackable. And that's what that movie, was it 349 with Michael B. Jordan? You had read Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit 457.
Yeah,
51.
Yeah, they burned all the hard copy documentaries. Yep. And really, they what they do is keep it to themselves, because they had another movie called The Giver.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
And this motherfucker, they always have like they have like one guy that keep track of all the hard document history of everything. All right, these books, and throughout that movie, it was only one person that's called The Giver, man. He had control and managed. He had management over that, man. All right, to know all the history, to know all the old ways of the old world and stuff like that, man. And he's like a historian. So because they want you to be ignorant, they don't want you to know your past, because you know your past, you know your future. So they want control of your mind, man. All right? It's like the brother said, the digitalization is becoming something mainstream now, man. Okay? When you go on buses, they don't carry bus passes no more. It's all on the phone, man. guys talking about digital ID.
Right.
Okay.
A lot of times you go to the ATMs, like
Yeah, no, you got.
like when I be going to the ATM, a lot of times you go to the ATM and then you won't get cash out. They'll say like withdraw unavailable or deposit unavailable. Like I see people all the time they talk about how they have to go to multiple bank locations just to get their money out because certain ATMs, I guess they not filling them up like how they used to.
Yep.
Bro,
That's by design.
I think I made a mistake because on my car I got the tap, and I was about to put my card in and whatnot, and it was like close to the little slot part, but I didn't put it all the way in, and then next thing you know, I was accessing to my account. I didn't put it in.
You might because they got the tap feature on there.
Yeah. That's what it had to be, man. Because I never put that shit in, and then the screen just showed up where my bank information. I'm like, okay, wow, what the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? So you gonna say?
Yes, a lot. You can go down to Chase Bank, and I can take my card and put it down on the side of it, and my screen will come up.
Yeah. The automation, you have to tap.
That's a digitized society, man. Right. And that's when you read Revelation 13, it talks about that those that don't worship the image of the beast shall be killed. Okay, now what are you gonna do? You're gonna have to get down with this technological technological advancements. Yeah, kind of water. You know what I'm saying? So without that, you're not only gonna be killed physically, right? Because the Elder Yeshawamba was going into the guillotines and everything like that. But also when you go into the root word, it means ostracized from society, man. So you're gonna be cast out, man. You're not gonna be able to.
That's gonna be the first step.
Kind.
Cast out, and then eventually the ones that's been cast out, the outcasts, so to speak, they're gonna be rounded up.
Yeah.
And that's the futuristic all. The scriptures talk about the all right, which is basically
a mark of badge of servitude.
Yeah, a mark of servitude. No, you get a mark of servitude, man. You put like an earring in your ear, showing you that you're property owned. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing as a brand when a person that has livestock and brand their cattle. Mm-hmm. This is the brand that they're gonna use on you people, man, showing that you're their property. Right. They want to make it known to you that I own you, man.
Right.
All right, man. They got the ID, but that's like an indirect thing. The ID and the serial number, right, or your what do you call that?
Social
Security number. That's an indirect way saying they own you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to literally say it up front. Right. Because they want to keep you ignorant right now. But that chip, they gonna say we own you, man. Right. And without this brand, you cannot take place or function in this world.
Right. If I can say too real quick, because when you go into the all, like you mentioned, brother, that when you take when the Hebrew slave took that all, it says that you're well pleased to serve your master, and that you will serve your master forever. You see, and now this digital all is you acknowledging that Esau is your master and that you're willing to serve him forever, man.
Right, and you're saying the hell with the Most High.
Yep.
He's not my power. All right, and this white man's my power. Go ahead.
This is Daniel chapter 8, verse 24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power.
Let's talk about Antiochus the fourth Epiphanes, right? Go ahead.
And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people.
Right, now Antiochus Epiphanes, in the eyes of these Edomites, he is a prominent figure in their history. Right. Yeah, he's like one of their great forefathers, right? So they're going to use the same type of strategies and mindset that Antiochus came in. Right. That's how they coming in today. Yeah. So this Daniel 8:24 is talking about Antiochus the fourth Epiphanes, okay? But we apply it today because they come in the same spirit. Right. So read it again or keep going.
Which is an Edomite too.
Right, exactly.
He's like speaks for all of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Lord said he fashioned their hearts alike.
Yeah. Exactly.
Go ahead.
And through his policy, also he
policy is your laws.
Also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Yeah, craft like trickery, you know.
See,
What the fuck can I?
Yeah.
Slimy little fucking. I'm a slimy fucking Edomite.
Hey, just like the serpent in the garden, man.
Right.
You know.
Hey, when you
With
read
witchcraft.
the Maccabees, the history on it,
Right.
it say he came with peace, man.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But this nigga had a horn behind his ass, man. Yeah, get it, go get it, man. Got it?
Well, it mentions it again because it's the same history. So read that.
They say, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many.
Right. And by peace shall destroy many. That's what he's coming with the mindset of, or he's coming with the narrative of this is going to make all of our lives better. You know, this is going to strengthen economies. This is going to equalize the playing field, so to speak. We're going to be able to get money and monetary funds to the homeless and to people in need. We're going to be able to evenly distribute the food because all of the food is going to be processed through one UPC database. You see, we're gonna be able to keep all the we're gonna have an accurate number of how much livestock we have on the planet, how many cattle. They want to number everything, man. Here's the Lord told David not to number Israel, and this motherfucker want to number everything that moves. So that's why you're the epitome of rebellion. The Lord told us that we should not, in Deuteronomy 7, we should not go in unto the Canaanite women, and we shouldn't, deal with their sons. What's the first thing Esau do? Went and got a Canaanite wife. You're the epitome of rebellion, man. You got it.
It's like it too, and even Revelation, it says that he had two horns like a lamb and spake as a dragon. Man. So he comes peaceably,
Right.
but those secret counts that we had, brought out, they're speaking as a dragon, man.
Right. You got a precept.
I'm looking for verse there.
One in like where it talks about he came peaceable words, but all was deceit. He fell suddenly upon the sea.
And this is Daniel chapter 8, verse 25. And through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand.
Right, the wiles of the devil. Speak about the wiles of the devil, not overcoming you, because you're aware of him. You understand that this man is the enemy. See, Esau, he studied Jake. When you think about the history of the wars between Esau and you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, this white man has studied you. He knows that you're stronger than him. He knows that you're faster than him, that you're smarter than him. He knows all of these things because he has studied you over the years. If I'm going to war against these so-called Seminole Indians, I can recognize that, goddamn, their awareness is better than ours. Their reaction time is better than ours. You know what I'm saying? They're quicker on their feet. So this devil has studied you. So now, if you don't know that he's your enemy, because he know you his enemy, if you don't know that you're his enemy, he's your enemy, you're not going to study him. But by us studying him, now we already know, okay, when he come like this, he really, he trying to trick you, trying to deceive you. We know how to basically maneuver around this man so that we're not taking advantage by him. But through those policies, he's going to take advantage of 2/3.
And he shall magnify himself in his heart.
Right, and right now he's magnifying himself because he wants his NWO. Antiochus the Fourth Epiphanes wanted the NWO too. He said that all should be one people. It didn't work out back then. They're going to try it again this time. You got it.
And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes.
Stop right there. It said by peace shall destroy many. Read that scripture real quick.
This is book of 1 Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 29. It says, and after 2 years fully inspired, the king sent his chief collector to tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude, verse 30 being appointed, and spake peaceable words unto them.
Right, unto us, the Israelites, the so-called white man. This is historical. The so-called white man spake peaceful words unto you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. When you was actually in your homeland in Jerusalem. Go ahead.
It says, but all was deceit.
But it all was a lie. Just like same thing now. Everything the motherfucker tell you is a lie. A year later, they did some research. Oh, we found out it wasn't how we said it was. I'm sorry. We didn't know HIV was in the thing.
Yeah.
We didn't know HIV was in the jabs.
Right.
We didn't know you was going to get myocarditis.
Exactly.
Knew the whole time, though. They designed it to give you it.
dog.
It's going to say that the wicked is strange from the womb. They go as soon as they be born speaking lies, man. This man is a fuck. You got to do it.
I just want to say this. He said the politicians, and they told my office, I'm like, when I get in office, I'm going to do this. Right. This motherfucker ain't doing shit. He ain't thinking about y'all niggas soon get up in there, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because it's two sides of the same coin, man.
Right.
You know?
Well, you say he had two horns like a lamb. If a lamb has two horns on it, it's on the same head.
Exactly.
They call it the right wing and the left wing, but it's the same bird.
Yeah.
So you a fool, man, to be playing this game.
Yeah, how many times Jason fall for it, man?
Since the civil rights.
Motherfucker said, like, he messed up, so we got to get him off here. Don't you ain't catch on, dummy? You know what I'm saying? Jake still talking about folks, man. You know, and none of these politicians are for you, dummy.
Right.
None of them for you, man. All right? The whole system is rigged, man.
It says, and spake peaceful words unto them, but all was deceit.
Right.
For when they had given him credence,
Credence means belief. When they believed him, oh, they talking nice, man. I don't think they on charge today. Right. Put the swords away, yo. Put the swords away. Send all the mighty men back. We good. But all was deceit. Then when niggas soon as they went to sleep, they rose up and it's gonna go into it.
For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel.
Right. Same thing gonna happen today. Right. Same thing gonna happen today. You gonna think you good, they gonna say peace and safety, and then they gonna come down with great wrath. They gonna be like madman sparing none.
And I want to say, because when the chip come, man, all right, when you people are cut off and they say, listen, this is a new way of payment, all right, if you want to get your steps, you want to get your welfare maintained, all that stuff like that, you have to get this chip. And if you don't get it, then you're screwed, man. You can't participate, man. And you, Jason, what you gonna do, man? You gonna hop on board, man? Because the first thing when people's lives are threatened is survival kicks in. You just thinking about surviving, then it's fuck whatever code or conduct you had. You know what I'm saying? Whatever integrity you had, you throw it out the window, saying, "Fuck that, man! I have to survive." It's the saying on with that movie John Wick. Before we about to come out, so where we can see that, you know what I'm saying, the camps. But the guy that owned the Intercontinental Hotel, y'all see the movie, he told him, he said, look, he told Keanu Reeves, he said, look, without rules, we live among the animals, all right? And that's how you people going to revert back to being an animal when society is out of it's not intact no more, man.
They already animals. They just
what?
They're just civilized animals.
Yeah.
But once the civilization is taken away, they just gonna be animals.
Oh man,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you ain't lying, huh?
People gonna be going in. I mean, they're gonna be attacking their own people, man. Yeah. Right? Own friends, invading each other's houses, all that stuff, man.
Yeah, it's pretty about second interest, man.
Yeah.
We close it down.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say, peace and safety, then suddenly destruction cometh upon them, as traileth upon a woman with child, and as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape.
See? So, meanwhile, we out here giving a warning, but this day that's coming, the day of the Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to catch and really people off guard. That's why I say it's going to come as a thief in the night. Because they didn't take heed to the warning. You know? Lord said all day long, he stretched out his hand to them. Disobedient and gainsaying people, man. So when this shit comes, those that are slated to be destroyed are going to be destroyed. The ones that's going to be saved, going to be saved, man.
They hoping it don't come.
Right, exactly.
That's the only hope they have. They hope that what we're saying.
Their hope is the same as Esau.
Yeah.
That's why I say you prepare the table for that truth.
That's
You
what
know?
you say. Woe to them that put confidence in man.
Right.
You know.
Yep, so hey, that's it, man. Lord, when this edify, we're gonna turn to the east. Give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Hakadosh.
Double honors to the apostle, elders, the great millstone, and charge 100% true peace, blessed sake to the Lord's elect. Call me Yashrala above before.
Above all.
Blah, blah, blah.